कल, आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। कार्यक्रम कल, आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग का सीधा प्रसारण V4 न्यूज, ग्लोबल टीवी, V4 स्ट्रीम, न्यूज गांव से, संवाद सरोकार न्यूज, ऑर्गन डोनेशन इंडिया फाउंडेशन एवं ज्ञान द्वारा किया जा रहा है। कार्यक्रम कल, आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग में हमारा उद्देश्य है आपके से रूबरू कराना उन विशिष्ट अतिथियों को जिन्होंने अपने जीवन काल में बहुत ही ऊंचाइयों को छुआ है। और मैं आज आपका परिचय कराना चाहूंगा और स्वागत करता हूं बहुत बहुत फादर सलीम जोसेफ का। फादर सलीम जोसेफ, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है कार्यक्रम कल, आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग में। फादर सलीम जोसेफ निदेशक हैं एडू स्किल्स इंटरनेशनल के। आप MA, MSW, LLB, PGDCA, CELTA, IELTS, B Pharma एंड BTH। आप पे इतनी सारी डिग्रियां हैं। और इसके आपने जो CELTA है वो कैम्ब्रिज यूनिवर्सिटी से किया है। आप प्रीस्ट हैं कैथोलिक ऑर्डर में। और फादर सलीम इसके अलावा लॉयर, रिसर्च स्कॉलर, कॉर्पोरेट कम्युनिकेशंस स्किल्स ट्रेनर, ब्रिटिश काउंसिल ट्रेंड टीचर एवं IELTS एंड OET दैट इज ऑक्यूपेशनल इंग्लिश टेस्ट के ट्रेनर भी हैं। आप बहुत ज्यादा आप जाने जाते हैं एज ए शिक्षाविद, ए वेल नोन एजुकेशनिस्ट। आपको 20 वर्ष से ज्यादा का तजुर्बा है, एक्सपीरियंस है टीचिंग का। और आपने एक यूनिक पेडागोजी, शिक्षा शास्त्र का, एक अनोखी शिक्षा शास्त्र का जो कि एक लर्नर सेंटर टीचिंग होती है और इसके अलावा व्यक्तिगत अनुभवजन्य होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड लर्नर सेंटर टीचिंग एंड पर्सनलाइज्ड एक्सपीरियंशियल ट्रेनिंग। उसका आपने उसको इवॉल्व किया है, उसको आपने एक तरह से काफी बढ़ावा दिया है, बढ़ाया है। एक अपने आप में एक अनोखी चीज है जिसके बारे में आज हम बिल्कुल जानना चाहेंगे फादर सलीम जोसेफ से। फादर सलीम जोसेफ, आपको एक बार पुनः स्वागत कार्यक्रम कल, आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग में। फादर सलीम जोसेफ, आपके बारे में बहुत प्रसिद्धि है। आपके इतने छात्र, इतने स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो आपके बारे में, क्योंकि आपने एक अलग ही, एक अनोखी शिक्षा नीति को, शिक्षा शास्त्र को शुरू किया है और जिससे कि शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में एक अजीब सी क्रांति आई है। लेकिन कुछ चीजें ऐसी हैं जो अभी भी बहुतों को नहीं पता आपके बारे में, आपके व्यक्तित्व के बारे में, आपके बारे में। तो आज हम थोड़ा सा आपसे वो पर्सनल चीजें जानना चाहेंगे। तो मेरा पहला प्रश्न आपसे है फादर सलीम जोसेफ, आप कब और कहां पैदा हुए, का बचपन कहां बीता और आपकी प्रारंभिक शिक्षा कहां हुई? फादर सलीम जोसेफ जी, प्लीज।
Good evening, Mr. Lal Goyal sir, and all the people who are viewing us. At the very beginning, I must appreciate Mr. Goyal. It's really, you have become an icon for the students and for the youth who need to emulate from you the commitment. Maybe doing almost 2 programs every day, live in so many channels. And really appreciate and congratulate you, and let all the people who see you imbibe that spirit of commitment and consistency from you, the C factor. And as I remember my childhood, maybe as you asked me about my primary education, my childhood, I was born in a village called Koppa in Nelliyadi. Specific village is known as Koppa, and Nelliyadi is the village. I'm one among the 13 siblings, and my parents, we had very humble beginning. So we really enjoyed the whole life, I must say. So to say, in my primary education in lower primary school, Konalu, there was only one room, one hall for 4 standards and 1 teacher. The same room was used as the office, staff room, and the classrooms, 4 classrooms. without any division in between. And I must tell you, and that is the real growth. That is the real thing I got in my childhood. You know, being the fourth standard student, continuously we used to teach the first and second standard or third standard students because we had only one teacher. We had to manage the classes. There I started to imbibe or acquire my skills, which lasted for long, and even today I am experiencing that. So one thing what I want to tell you, the government schools, however we degrade them, there are certain things which we get original than the benchmark or pipeline, the discipline that we get it otherwise. So we have originality over there. In spite of the real traditional values given by those teachers, the elderly teachers. Actually, I had only one teacher till fourth standard. I still cherish and remember those things. My beginnings were very humble, as I told you. I never felt we are hungry, but then we never had sufficient food to eat 3 times. Definitely, we never thought of lunch unless and until we used to get later. We used to get when we go to higher primary school. I did it from 5th standard in Nelliyadi, higher primary school Nelliyadi, where we used to get a sort of a noon lunch sajjige. You know, it's made of wheat. So that was the dream. So once you reach 5th standard, you are going to get it. So lunch was a dream until then. And we never thought of it. Those days, we never thought it is poverty. It was part of our life. So such was the situation, economic situation, not only of me or everybody in our village. Like, I don't think anyone used a toilet those days or such houses ever in our village. The whole village never had that concept of having a toilet or washrooms inside the house. So that was the condition, but that was a great blessing, which has influenced my life, whereby I can understand the suffering of people today, the poverty of the people today. And 4th standard, I completed there with all the originality and enjoying the nature around. You know, even in the school, we could never imagine a washroom in the school. So we had to go to the open air. So all these things were there, which was very naive and very natural and connected to the nature. So
इसके बाद आपने 4th स्टैंडर्ड तो वहां से किया, फिर 5th ऑनवर्ड्स आप कौन से स्कूल में पढ़े और वहां की क्या कंडीशंस थी?
Yeah. From 5th standard onwards, I continued my studies in higher primary school Nelliyadi. And as regards conditions, okay, teachers were there, extra many teachers were there. And it was a big school. And I had to walk around 3 miles every day. So maybe every day I used to carry someone's milk to the hotel because then they used to give us 25 paise or 50 paise those days, which was a huge amount. So that way every day, carry the book and the milk and give it to the shopkeeper, evening get the money and the container back. And it was a big container, I remember. It is not easy to carry because I was so short and the container was so big, I had to lift it and carry. That there also, you know, the school was definitely not that developed as we have schools today with the minimum requirements, but the teaching was very good. From there, I shifted in the same place, Nelliyadi. We had St. George High School, a private high school, 8th to 10th. Even those years I enjoyed because all the teachers were really committed. I can't but remember them because, you know, the same teachers who were started their life in St. George High School when we were studying in the 80s, they got retired from the same campus. And that was the commitment and the value of those teachers. They never went after money or they never were hunting for bigger jobs, greater jobs or greater earning. They were so committed. If I name out, definitely I missed some names, so I don't want to name out, but I still remember all of them. Their commitment is an icon for us to remember them, and majority of them. And some of them are no more in this world, but still I remember them. And from then onwards, I moved on to Sacred Heart Junior College, Madantia. And that was a turning point. Definitely I have to remember names, but still I remember one person who motivated me was Mr. T.P. Anthony, who was a lecturer then there, and now he is the principal of Government College, Beltangadi. And there was Sister Elizabeth, Father Lawrence Rodriguez, and many of them. It is a turning point in my life. You know, the first PUC and second PUC, it was not a college day. It was something very fabulous that I enjoyed. And I started to enjoy learning. I started to maybe the beginnings of seeds of this experiential learning, which I have evolved, started from there. Because this political science teacher, Mr. T.P. Anthony, the way he started the class, definitely every day he used to start the class with the newspaper news, political news from the newspaper of that day. And we never used to think that or thought he is taking a class. That was the idea which I got. Then I remember, still I remember, I got the maximum marks and I was topper maybe for those decades among the Catholic institutions in the district, only because of this man's interest in the lesson. And I never needed to read those things. It was so vivid in my mind. So I scored the highest in his subject. Maybe till then, nobody had scored in the political science that marks. So maybe I lost my rank just for 4 marks. Otherwise, I'd have got it. So that was the idea where I got the seedling, where experiential learning I thought of.
तो ये सेक्रेड हार्ट आपका कौन सी क्लास तक का था स्कूल?
+1 and PUC first year and second year.
सेकंड. उसके बाद फिर आप कहाँ आपने एडमिशन लिया?
Then I went on for my priestly studies. I joined. I was at Tellicherry 1 year in Kerala for formations.
तो फादर बताना चाहेंगे ऐसा आपने क्यों डिसीजन लिया to go to the to become a priest?
To become a priest, as we believe it is a call from God, definitely. But then my parents were very pious. Even today, I remember they are in their 80s. My dad is 89 now. And they are very active, healthy, and very pious people. So we have almost 4 people, 3 priests, and one of my sister is a nun, religious sister. So 4 of us in the family have gone to this line, dedicated our life spiritually. The main reason is that I just was interested in serving other people and committed with my parents' example. I was committed to spiritual things. And actually, it was not that I was not mundane or I was really enjoying the life. Maybe after the 10th, I had 1 year break. That was a principle that my dad practiced, which I feel one of the milestones in my life. Means all of us used to break after 10th 1 year and look after the household things for 1 year. It was like a regency or a internship at home, everybody.
तो आपको उस वक्त आपको फादर ये महसूस नहीं हुआ कि आप इतना अच्छा पढ़ रहे थे, आपके इतने अच्छे मार्क्स आ रहे थे पॉलिटिकल साइंस वगैरह में, और उस वक्त आपको ब्रेक कराया गया 1 साल का, तो आपको थोड़ा सा अजीब नहीं लगा? आपको ये नहीं लगा कि नहीं मैं तो बहुत पढ़ सकता हूं और मेरे को जो फादर बनने का जो आपने बताया कि जाने का था, तो आपके मन में था या आपको फैमिली, आपके फादर ने या आपके एल्डर ब्रदर सिस्टर्स ने आपको फोर्स किया कि नहीं भाई ये करना चाहिए, इट्स ए वेरी गुड थिंग, और उस वक्त आपने फिर सोचा कि जब ये लोग कह रहे हैं तो मैं कर लेता हूं?
Yes, but my parents or my siblings never, none of about regarding anyone. We never influenced, in the sense forced someone. It was all our own decisions. After 10th, 1 year of internship at home, then everything was according to our plan. We had the full freedom to decide upon our lifestyles, selecting our lifestyles, whatever the studies we wanted to take, whatever the subject, wherever we wanted to go and study. But then ultimately we were put into earn while you learn mode of learning, because all of us used to work. After 10th, we used to work and earn money for our education. That was the principle that we had. First of all, there was poverty at home. Even otherwise, that was the style of functioning that my dad put into us. So that was something great. If you have 2 months holidays, we always used to go somewhere and work all the 2 months, earn some money for the next year fees and clothing and books, other things. So that's the same thing which I'm practicing now. Earn while you learn, EL package we call it. That's
तो उसके बाद आप ट्रेनिंग के लिए गए, तो उसके कुछ एक्सपीरियंस बताएंगे?
Yeah, that is almost 11 years of training for priesthood. We have to complete at least 3 degrees. Like we have to do 1 secular degree. I did the BA, and then we had to do BPH, Bachelor of Philosophy. We were affiliated to Urban University. So like we had to do the comparative study between Indian and Western philosophy. It was a well-packed 3 years program. Following that, we had 1 year of internship. Then we have 4 years of BTH, that is Bachelor of Theology, where we study all the major religions of the world. It is also a completely packed 4-year study with all the biblical studies. We study all the Hinduism, Islam, everything. And I still remember Islam was the easiest subject which I scored the highest in the examinations. And I could get a magna cum laude probatus from Urban University that says maximum. Magna means maximum, magna cum laude probatus. Probatus means first, laude means maximum. So the maximum first rank or highest rank in the studies, both philosophical and theological.
तो फादर, इसका मतलब जो लोग फादर बनते हैं उनको इतना स्टडी करना पड़ता है तब वो फादर बन पाते हैं?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
जो फादर के लिए जाते हैं बनने के लिए,
Yes.
उन्हें इतना सब कुछ पढ़ना पड़ता है, इतनी स्टडी करनी पड़ती है कंपलसरी?
Yes, this is minimum requirement. But there are other orders. Maybe my brothers, younger brothers, are fathers. One had to do 18 years of studies. Like they won't allow to priesthood. Usually they encourage after post graduation at least. So this is basically must to be a priest. And you have all the choice within this 11 years or 12 years to discontinue. So you have to be well disciplined, well knowledgeable, and you should be equipped for that. So that's the minimum requirement a priest has to study in the Catholic order anywhere in the world. And,
तो उसके बाद जब आप फादर का आपने 11 साल का काम कोर्स कर लिया, उसके बाद फिर आपने क्या किया?
Then I did my, I was doing my ministry. Then I did my MA in English literature. Then I had to study. I was interested because I got connected with Delhi University. Then I got, I was helping them, the MPhil students, to work out their projects. We did a study. They came over here, around 35 students from Delhi University stayed with me. And I was guiding them as regards a comparative study between English and Tulu. So we produced the English and Tulu comparative grammar book. So that was a very beautiful experience. Then I thought of I need to improve my studies. So I registered myself for other programs like CELTA from Cambridge. Then also I did my MSW. MSW I thought because being a priest, social work aspect and the techniques of social work is very useful in the priestly ministry, even in rendering our ministry. But in the meantime, I was also teaching in different colleges in the gaps, starting from SDM College. I started my teaching caliber at SDM College in 2000. I taught there the degree students, PUC students, as well as the postgraduate MSW students. And then later on, I had our own college, St. Thomas College, where we studied, where I taught them. And also we had a campus of our own. So even in KVG Law College, I taught the first year and second year students. So those were the teaching experiences.
तो law आपने LLB कब किया?
Yeah, LLB. I mean, I did LLB from Karnataka Law University. I did my 3 years of LLB because after degree you need only 3 years. That was also very interesting. Later on, I went on to study on family law, and so now I am almost completing my research in marital breakdown among new generation couples. Why the people are finding a lot of problems among the new generation people. So I am studying the cases of all from all over Karnataka, from all the family courts of Karnataka. I have taken the universe as the family courts of Karnataka and studying those issues, and maybe I'll be submitting within 2 months my thesis.
So you mean to say कि अब इसमें आप PhD कर रहे हैं?
Yes, definitely.
तो फादर, जो आप इतना पढ़ रहे हैं, इतनी आपने डिग्रियां ली हैं, तो इसका आप मतलब अभी भी आगे आपकी जो जिसे कहते हैं ना थ्रस्ट अभी नहीं आपकी क्वेंच हुई, अभी तक आपकी प्यास नहीं बुझी है आगे भी पढ़ने की, तो आप क्या सोचते हैं कि जितना आप आगे पढ़ रहे हैं तो उतना आपको जो एक ज्ञान आप अर्जित कर रहे हैं, आपको जो ज्ञान मिल रहा है, जो आपको नॉलेज आ रही है, उसका आपको फायदा भी मिल रहा है क्योंकि आप आगे लोग बच्चों को पढ़ाते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ाते हैं, लेकिन इससे आपका जो रूटीन वर्क है, जो आप अपना रोज काम करते हैं, उस पे असर नहीं पड़ता कि आप इतना पढ़ने में लगे रहते हैं तो वहां काम पे इम्पैक्ट नहीं आता आपके?
No, actually, learning is a process which I enjoy so much. It's like even along with all other duties that I do, very perfectly I try to do. I enjoy that because it has started from the very childhood. All my friends, my siblings, they were good at studies. And those days we never used to, they never used to ask us the age. When you go to get, there were no LKG and UKG. Straight away you will get enrolled to the first standard, where you should be 5 years and 10 months actually. So how do they test that age is that you have to hold your hand like this. Unless you are 5 years and 10 months, you won't reach here. So what happened? I knew this from my elder brothers. So I started to practice this from when I was 3 years old, because I wanted to join the school early. I was so thirsty. So, by the time I was around 5, I could easily hold this. One day I went to my dad and told him, Dad, I can go to the school now. You see, I can hold it easily. That's how I got into the school maybe 6 months early, because I could hold it very easily. And
फादर लोग बाग इस तरह की चीजें करते हैं जब उन्हें कोई चीज इस खेलने के लिए जाना है या कोई चीज वैसी ही करना है, लेकिन आपने पढ़ने के लिए इस तरह इतनी मेहनत करके वो उसको टच करा अपने ईयर को, तो बहुत ही मतलब इसका मतलब बचपन से ही आपको पढ़ने का बहुत शौक था.
Yeah, and learning is really a thrill. Enjoying work. That's what I teach my students. Experiential learning means that it's an experience that we want to enjoy, that we long for. It's almost an instinct like thirst, hunger that we have naturally. We want to quench it. So even our thirst for learning or wisdom is a basic instinct, I believe. Only thing the system that our system, education system, just kills it in the process. We don't allow the students to learn in the natural way. So what happens in my teaching, my pedagogy, I give them the whole syllabus, maybe degree college, as you might know it, you have heard of it, and I complete the syllabus of 6 months, a month syllabus within 3 weeks, or at the maximum 1 month, because I give them the freedom and they can easily learn it, and they enjoy learning and they get better grades and good marks, even those who are average.
तो फादर वही हम अब आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, जो आपने ये एक नई पेडागोजी की है, एक नया ही शिक्षा शास्त्र का आपने वो किया है, उसको बढ़ावा दिया या उसको सृजित किया या बनाया, या तो उसमें क्या चीज है जो आप कह रहे हैं कि 6 महीने का कोर्स आप 1 महीने में स्टूडेंट पूरी तरह सीख लेता है और बड़े आराम से सीख लेता है, तो कुछ उस बारे में बताना चाहेंगे?
It's like, ultimately, it's like experiential learning means we create a thirst in them in the beginning. We call it CLC principle. We see that clarity of CLC means C, clarity of purpose, L means love of the process, and C means compounding effect, means the result or the encouragement. So we first create the clarity of purpose in the students. Why they want to study? Do they want to study? Why? So when their purpose is clear, they start loving the process. Because, when we want to reach somewhere, you want to reach the top of Everest, you are so thirsty to reach the top of Mount Everest, the struggles in between is a sort of thrill for you. So also this study process, what we make it a thrilling process, enjoyable process. So first we create a clarity in the students, what's their purpose and what is their passion. Then they start loving the process, and we say this is a necessary thing, and they start loving it. And we don't impose on them, you should study this one at this time. No, it's at your liberty. You can sign out from the class anytime if you want. You attend the class anytime you want. Once you create the purpose, clarity of purpose in them and love of the process, they love to attend the classes. They want to have more and more classes.
तो जब फादर आपने एक नया ये सिस्टम सोचा और बनाया, तो इसकी प्रेरणा आपको कहां से मिली? जैसे आप बता रहे थे कि बचपन से आपको था, क्योंकि आपके जो टीचर थे जो पॉलिटिकल साइंस के थे, वो अखबार पढ़ के न्यूज बताते थे और उसके ऊपर फिर पूरी क्लास लेते थे, तो क्या आपको वही एक प्रेरणा बनी कि कुछ नया किया जाए शिक्षा क्षेत्र में जो कि बच्चों के लिए बहुत इजी हो जाए आगे?
Yeah, the whole process, maybe as I showed you, PUC, the political science teacher who imbibed or incorporated the daily happenings with the political science subject, maybe I think the seedlings are there. Then gradually I started to innovate. Then I had some training in from Bharat Education Trust, my Master Brain programs in Chennai, and there I started to develop. Then when I did my psychiatric social work studies, MSW, there also I started to study on the human brain. And in Manasa, in Shimoga, I remember I had to do some internship as a part of this Kuvempu University MSW. But then I had to do maybe 1 week, but I did it more than nearly 2 months in Manasa healthcare home, Manasa nursing home of Ashok, Katish Ashok Pai, of good old memory. I remember that institution, where I was really thirsty to know about the human brain, how it functions. So there I started. Then I went to certain scanning centers, collaborated with the doctors and got the images of the brains and started to learn those things, how learning is happening. So I did focus a lot, maybe around 8 to 9 years on learning theory of human brain. That's how I understood the igniting of the brain cells is important. See, when the children, even the average child, the most active child in this world today, they lose at least 500 brain cells being not ignited every day. They are not given opportunity to make it a part of the brain. So we need to ignite them. So once we ignite them, the interest really happens. The compounding effect, that should be a satisfaction. They feel like I must do it again and again. So because it gives a thrilling experience. So how we can ignite the mind of students? So I teach even the LKG students till PG students, there is no issue. Every day, even online now during the Corona, I cater to more than 2,000 students. And there is no difficulty because, even if it is online, they say they get involved because I get involved into my teaching. My whole being, my mind, brain, body, soul, everything gets involved into the process because I love it. So when I love that, I can communicate that love of the process into the students or the learners.
तो आपका कहना है फादर कि जो भी काम करें उसको आप लव करें, उसको प्यार करें, उसके बारे में बहुत अच्छा सोचें और उसको अपने प्रोसेस बनाएं। अब जैसे आप शिक्षा क्षेत्र में अगर कोई व्यवसाय कर रहा है या कोई और कार्य कर रहा है, अगर वो भी इसी तरह करे तो उसको भी काफी सफलता मिल सकती है।
Yes, so the process is like when I communicated to them, and definitely all these things are free of cost. I do as a service to humanity because I know my humble beginnings. And the project is called Try Training Rural Youth, means poor youth, training them to upgrade. So what happens, always I tell them, the lesson I learned from childhood is this. Always I tell my students, 1 is greater than 0. 1 is greater than 0 means it's a common thing you will understand. But then I interpret it like this. I tell my students, 0 is being idle, not doing anything. And you get a lot of automatic negative thoughts, ants we call it, automatic negative thoughts in your mind. You get depressed, you get distracted. But then 1 means do something, be active. Even if you want a job for 500 rupees, don't wait. If you don't have job for 500 rupees, go and do service for free. By sitting idle, you don't gain anything. By doing some service, you get some skills, or do a job for 50 rupees. Instead of sitting idle and making your mind a devil's workshop and getting all the automated negative thoughts and getting depressed, be activated somewhere in some job. So never be idle. Always remember 1 is greater than 0.
जी फादर, आपने अपना जो इतना बड़ा स्किल का आप ये चला रहे हैं, वो भी फ्री में चला रहे हैं, मुफ्त में दे रहे हैं। कभी आपने इसके लिए किसी यूनिवर्सिटी से, कॉलेज से या गवर्नमेंट से कहा कि इस तरह का कोर्स उसको लार्ज स्केल पे पूरे देश में करा जा सकता है?
I haven't gone into that line. Even maybe in Mangalore University, I have taught the PG students long back. I used to give the skills training, seminars, programs, and almost majority of the colleges all over here, including Davangere University, Tumkur University, I have handled classes and trained students. And as of now, every day I train more than 2,000 students online for various programs. But I haven't gone into anything formal because always I believe do something gradually as the time comes that will connect to the system. तो
कोई भी छात्र या स्टूडेंट जो हमारे आज व्यूअर्स भी हैं या और भी हैं, अगर वो कहीं भी हैं, किसी भी पार्ट में हैं इंडिया के या कहीं पे भी हैं, तो क्या वो अगर आपके संग जुड़ना चाहें तो आप उन्हें फ्री ट्रेनिंग देंगे? और कितने दिन का एक ट्रेनिंग होता है?
The training depends on the program. What program are they taking? For example, now the latest platform I have is OET. There are students from 8 countries, 1,560 students attending the sessions. That depends when they are equipped for that exam, they finish and they write the exams and discontinue. At the same time, other students start getting it. And I remember many of them are attending now today live.
फादर, आपसे बहुत कुछ और सीखना हम भी चाहते हैं, क्योंकि मैं सोचता हूं कि थ्रस्ट जो है वो कभी भी किसी की बुझनी नहीं चाहिए। और जब आप थ्रस्ट ही रहेंगे, जब आप प्यासे रहेंगे, तो आप नई नई चीजें अच्छी सीखेंगे, जिससे आप अपना ही नहीं पूरे समाज का, पूरे देश का, पूरे विश्व का कल्याण कर सकते हैं। जो फादर सलीम, आप एक जीती जागती उसका उदाहरण है। चलते चलते फादर, समय का भाव है, क्या एक छोटा सा मैसेज देना चाहेंगे युवा पीढ़ी को?
Yeah, to the youth, what I want to say, always remember 3 things. 1 is you should have a clarity of purpose, love of the process, and compounding effect, something that growth every day, little tiny growth. And the thing is this, always believe 1 is greater than 0. Never sit idle. Do something, whether it is free service or for payment. do go and help somebody, serve somebody. You will get the skills, and the more you empower others, you will definitely empowered by the whole universe. God will definitely bless you, and the whole nature will support you. If your goodwill is inside you, so always keep in mind, one is greater than zero.
ओके, बहुत 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 धन्यवाद फादर सलीम जोसेफ कि आपने इतनी अच्छी बात बताई। समय अभाव है, बहुत कुछ सुनना चाहते थे लेकिन समय का अभाव है। सो आज का कार्यक्रम कल, आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग का सीधा प्रसारण V4 न्यूज, ग्लोबल टीवी, V4 स्ट्रीम, न्यूज गांव से संवाद सारोकार न्यूज के अलावा फेसबुक और यूट्यूब पे भी किया गया है। एंड अवर एंडेवर टू एनलाइटन यू विद द करंट टॉपिक्स इन अवर morning edition of Media Conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. And tomorrow our topic is UP Population Control Bill. Yes, you heard rightly, UP Population Control Bill. And our panelists are Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, renowned lawyer of Western UP Mathura, Advocate Dev Prakash Singh, Managing Partner, Mars and Mars Legal Advisors LLP Patna, Advocate Shivang Bhargav, New Delhi and Mathura, and Mr. Rohan Jindal, Civil Service Aspirants, Bhiwadi. So please tune in tomorrow for Media Conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. Father Salim Joseph, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप हमारे कार्यक्रम कल, आज और कल लाल गोयल के संग में जुड़े और आपने इतनी अच्छी बातें बताई, इतनी नई नई चीजें बताई, और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे दर्शकों का कि आप जुड़े। और मैं सोचता हूं कि आज का जो हमारा कार्यक्रम है